here's the class warm-up. So the 6.8 is called the dividend, and the 2 is the divisor. Our answer is going to be the quotient. Let's see. Who has any idea of what to do? Raise your hand. Shiley, what's the first step?
Well, I don't, it's like two things I'm unsure, but bring the decimal up.
So we bring the decimal up. Do you mean like that?
Yeah.
Great job. That's something that we could do. Izzy.
Instead of dividing, you could, instead of dividing 6.8, you could move the decimal over.
No, we cannot. What else can we do? What's our first step now? Yes, Jazz. Yeah, we divide 6 by 2. How many times does 2 go into 6? Raise our number of fingers. Raise the number of fingers. Yes, it is 3, and that's an even 6. Now what do I do? Kyle?
You have to bring down the 8.
We bring down the 8. How many times does 2 go into 8? Show of number fingers. Yes, it is 4. So what is our answer? Who'd like to read that out loud?
3.4.
3.4. The decimal goes straight up like that. So I want you guys to do 2 of A, B, and C on page 232, and then close your book. Okay, so the first step is we bring the decimal up, and then we just divide as normal. How many times does 3 go into 7? Yes, it's 2. What's 3 times 2? Shiley? 6. What do we do now? Kyle? Subtract. We get 1. Now what do we do? Leanne?
We have to bring down the 5.
Yes, we bring down the 5. How many times does 3 go into 15? Show of hands, the number. What is it? How many times does 3 go into 15? 5. And that's an even 15. So we are done. It is 2.5. Let's look at the next problem. So, first step, we bring up the decimal right there. How many times does 7 go into 3, Leanne? It doesn't. So how many times does 7 go into 35, Chris? 5 times. And that's an even 35. Notice something. When the bigger number is the divisor, our answer is less than 0. When our bigger number is the divisor, our answer is less than 0. So what if the bigger number was the dividend? If the bigger number was the dividend, what's the rule? Yes, Liana? It's going to be more than 1. It's going to be more than 1.
No.
It's going to be less than 1. Did I say less than 0? I said less than 1. If the divisor is bigger, it's less than 1. If the dividend's bigger, then it's more than 1. That's always the rule. Let's look at the next one. We bring our decimal up. 2 goes into 9. How many times? Raising how many fingers? 2 goes into 9. How many times? It goes in 4 times. What's 2 times 4, Emmett? 8. We do the subtraction. We get 1. We bring down the 8. How many times does 2 go into 18? Show of fingers. We get, are you saying 8?
Yeah.
No, it's not 8. How many times? It is 9. And that is exactly 18. And we are done. 4.9. So, let's look at this one together. Now, is our answer, no, I'm just saying let's look at this. Is our answer going to be more than 1 or less than 1? Is our answer going to be more than 1 or less than 1, Izzy? Less. And how do you know it's going to be less than 1, Kyle?
The 14 is greater.
The 14 is greater. Our divisor is greater. Correct. I want you guys to try this problem. Go ahead. Okay. So, what's our first step? Chase. We bring the decimal up. What's our second step? Chase again. Exactly. We have to figure out how many times 14 goes into 77. Does 14 go into 7 at all? No. So how many times does 14 go into 77? Ani? 5 times. Do you agree with her?
Yeah.
Yes. And that's an even 77. So we have an even number. Is it not? Oh, I messed up. It's 70, right? Yes, I messed up. Thank you for calling me. What's 77 minus 70? 77 minus 70, Marcus. 7. Now what do I do? We're done with the problem, right? No, we're not. Justin, what do we do? No, we're not going to be doing remainders. M.
You just put it next to the 5.
What do you put?
Wait, it's 0.57?
No. What do we do? I want to see a new hand. Sean. We add a 0. Does a 0 change the number at all? No. It doesn't change the number. Zeros mean nothing. So we bring down that 0. Hey, look at that, you guys. How many times does 14 go into 70? Raise of fingers. What do we say? Yes, it's 5. It's right above us. It's an even 70, and we are done. I want you guys to do 2 of D, E, and F on page 233. And then I want you to try G. So let's see. Problem D. Problem D. I have to write this down. Okay. It is 9.48 divided into 15 groups. Our first step is to what? Our first step is to what, Leanne? Move up our decimal. And then we solve. Does 15 go into 9? No. How many times does 15 go into 94? How many times does 15 go into 94? Who knows? How many times does 15 go into 94? Shiley. Who agrees with her? Yeah, you guys agree? Correct. It is 6. And what is 6 times 15? Shiley?
It is 90.
90. So we subtract that and get 4. Then we bring down our 8. How many times does 15 go into 48? How many times does 15 go into 48? Emmett. 3 times. And what is that? What's 3 times 15? 45. What do we get when we subtract that? 3. Are we done with the problem? No. What do we have to do? What do we have to do? Stephanie. Add the 0. Exactly.
You mean the 0 or the magic 0?
No, not a magic 0. We just put a 0 there and we bring it down. This should be easy. Fingers up. How many times does 15 go into 30? Fingers up for it. 2. And it's exactly 30. Yes. Great job. Let's look at E. This one. 3.49 divided by 4. Is our quotient going to be less than 1 or more than 1? What do you guys think? Is our quotient going to be less than 1 or more, Marcus? Less. Exactly. Our divisor is bigger. We bring up our decimal. Does 4 go into 3? No. How many times does 4 go into 34? How many times does 4 go into 34? M.
Oh my gosh,
Urine. 8 times. What's 8 times 4, Emmett? 32. We do our subtraction. We get 2. We bring down the 9. How many times does 4 go into 29? How many times does 4? Ani. 7 times. And what is that? What is that number then? Emmett. 28. Then we subtract, we bring down a 1. Now what do I do? Now what do I do? What do I do? Urine.
We do remainders.
No, we don't do remainders anymore. Not with this stuff. What do we do, Stephanie? We add that 0 and bring it down. How many times does 4 go into 10? M.
2 times.
2 times. And that is, I'm going to do it over here. That is 10. What is 4 times 2? Izzy.
4 times 2 is
8. So we do the subtraction and we get 2. Are we done? No, we bring down another 0. We put another 0. We bring it down. I'm just going to put it right here. You guys see it? Whoop. How many times does 4 go into 20? Number of fingers. Number of fingers. How many times does it go into 20? Yes, 5 times, and it's an even 20, and we are done. Let's look at F. F is 55.08 divided by 17. Is it going to be greater than 1 or less than 1? M. Greater. We bring up our decimal. How many times does 17 go into 5? Raise our number of fingers. 17 go into 5. 0. How many times does 17 go into 55? How many times does it go into 55? Chase. And what is 17 times 3? Yes. What's 55 minus 51? What's 55? Amari. 4. We bring down that 0. How many times does 17 go into 40? How many times does it go into 40? Raising our fingers. 2. What's 17 times 2? Who can tell me? Justin. 34. That's 6 when we subtract. We bring down the 8. How many times does 17 go into 68? How many times? Chase. 4 times. And what is 17 times 4? What's 17 times 4, Justin?
68.
Hey, it's 68. So we get, I'm not going to write it, but we get an even 0. That's our answer. Yes. Let's look at G. Find the cost per pound of a 2-pound and 4-pound package. I don't want to do that because it doesn't even have the answer, so I don't even know. Anyway, now we're gonna pick 3 problems on page 234. Pick 3 problems on page 234 and do those. Let's start with this one. 3.6 divided by 4. I'm just gonna go through it, so we're just gonna do it. I'm not calling on anybody. Ready? We bring the decimal up. Fingers. How many times does 4 go into 3? How many times does 4 go into 3? 0. How many times does 4 go into 36? Raise of hands. Raise of numbers. 9. Correct, and it's an even 36. So our answer is 0.9. Look at this one. Is our answer going to be less than 1 or greater than 1? Less or greater? Liana? Less, exactly, because our divisor's bigger. We bring up our decimal. How many times does 22 go into 1? Does it? Raise the fingers. 0. How many times does it go into 12? Raise our fingers. 0. Now let's think about it. How many times does 22 go into 123? How many times? Do we have our fingers? Do we know? We think it's 5 times?
Yes.
Let's see. 22 times 5. Here we get 10. Here we get 11. Do you think we can get any closer, you guys?
Yeah.
We might be able to get closer.
Yeah.
Let's try that. Let's try it. What's 6 times 2?
12.
What's 6 times 2 again?
12.
And we add it. Oh,
We can't do it. We can't do it.
what is my... The book is... Hold.
Did you
You're right. The teacher's book made a mistake, so we're right. It's 5. That was 110. So, what's 123 minus 110? What do we get? Kyle. 13. We bring down our 2. Hey, we just did that. What's our answer? It's 6. There we go. The book made a mistake, by the way. So, we're not going to do this next one. We're going to go to the next lesson.